right, so introduce yourselves and tell me the story of Rick's Music World.
Oh, well, that's a big story. So I'm Rick from Rick's Music World, and my wife
I'm
Robin,
Robin.
and we started Rick's Music World in 1982, actually. So it's been a long time, almost 40 years. And we were just, it started a small little music store that just had a few little instruments in it, and we taught some lessons. And over the years, it just grew and grew. We opened up, that original location was in Seekonk, Massachusetts. And then we grew to a second location in Swansea, Massachusetts. And then in 2001, I think it was, we ended up designing a whole complete different concept in music stores. And that's what was, that we did in Raynham, Massachusetts in 2001, and opened up a store to not only be about selling musical equipment or teaching, but also a place that people could gather. So we built a cafe inside there and a performance center inside our store, so that parents would feel very comfortable when they came to bring their kids in for lessons and that type of thing. They had a place to go to inside the cafe to wait for them. And it was a way for the students and teachers to have a place to perform all the time. So we did that, and we have open mic nights that we started and everything many years ago. And it's really grown into that type of center. So we not only, the way we kind of looked at it is not only can we sell you an instrument, but we can teach you how to play it and then give you a place to perform it. Mm-hmm. So that's what that whole concept was about. It's worked out really well over the years.
Yeah, and then you can join the community of everybody else who's there too, and just build a music community together.
So we ended up doing a lot of rock bands and jam camps and a cappella groups and everything else. And again, it was really putting students together and making music. And the open mic turned into what originally was going to be about, we thought that the students and teachers and everything else would be part of that open mic, but actually turned into much more of that, because all of a sudden people came from all over the place to come to perform. So we ended up getting all ages from 4 or 5 years old up to about 85 years old.
Yeah.
So performing, it was really pretty neat.
Yeah, it's truly a community. It's truly a community built by music. And so my next question is, why is music important to you, and why use music in particular to build back a better community?
Well, I think for us, it's been that we've seen what music can do to people's lives time and time again. And a lot of this was, I mean, obviously I've been a musician since I was 12 years old. So, I mean, I've always loved music, and Robin's always loved music. Mm-hmm. So we've, that's been part of us and who we are, but we've also seen what it can do to other people. And that's kind of the main thing. We've seen people in their 80s with tears in their eyes, hugging us and going, you have no idea what this has meant to me, but you'd be able to come to the open mic and perform in front of people, and, the community that we built and that type of thing. And then we hear the same thing from young kids and parents, where it's kind of taken them, they built up their esteem in many different areas where maybe they were bullied in school and stuff like that. And they came to our place and they felt a community of everybody cared for each other. And they felt that passion and kindness and everything else that went along with that to feel good about themselves. And it built up their self-esteem.
Yeah, they get self-confident, and then it also relates into their studies at school too.
Oh, big time. Yeah, absolutely. So, yes.
Yeah, and I think that's why you guys make such a great partner with Rawkstars, is because Rawkstars has the same drive and the same belief that you can build a community through music, and everyone can be included, no matter how old they are, no matter where they are in life, no matter how much, if they can pay for lessons or not, that right. You can be a part of this community. And so I think that flows into the next question. How did you become a Rawkstars partner?
Very early on.
Yes.
I think we might be their first partner, actually. Yeah. We got a call from JJ, actually, just saying he had a student that they wanted to pay for their music lessons? Could we provide the lessons and work with them? And we said, absolutely. And I think that was maybe 2003 or
Yeah, and
four.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember whether, because JJ's daughter also was taking lessons, and I'm not sure whether she was taking lessons before or after that original conversation. I can't really remember now, but she took lessons for many years at the store, Bella, and so but I think JJ called first.
Yeah.
I think he called first, found out what we were all about or heard about us, and then we had those students come to the store, and then it just became the synergy of the partnership between the two of us was incredible, because we both had the same philosophies of what we wanted to do for not only people who couldn't afford music lessons, but people who just wanted to do it and couldn't do it for whatever reason. And they just took it to another level that we couldn't take it to. So it really was, it was tremendous. We had our own scholarship program going on where we were providing music lessons for people too, but they could
in
take
a short-term situation.
In a short-term situation where they could take it above and beyond, and they could take it for even years, which was just tremendous. I mean, it's been a tremendous organization to associate with. It was a perfect synergy. It really was, or has been.
It continues to be. Very thankful for you.
Exactly.
You guys play a massive part in Rockstars and our kids getting lessons, and we're so appreciative of that. And speaking of the kids, what is your favorite like Rockstars memory, whether it's with a student or like at a concert or with JJ? Like what is like a favorite or some favorite Rockstar memory?
I have to say, one of the things, JJ does obviously provide financial support for the kids, but then he touches them musically in a whole creative way. And he came up, we had an a cappella group, and we had some scholarship students that were vocal students, and he decided to take us on a field trip to a Josh Groban concert. And we actually got to go backstage, and the kids got to meet Josh Groban and interact with him. And it was just an opportunity that wouldn't have come along without JJ's help. So that was one of my favorite.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. That definitely was a favorite of mine too.
Yeah.
There have been so many, and I think a lot of them were some of the smaller ones where they were just interviews with kids in the store. That JJ would come in with Lisa, and they would just talk to one of the students that we had suggested they put on the Rockstar program, and you can see the excitement that JJ and Lisa both had, and to get them involved, and the student involved, and the parents involved, it's just great. And then the other thing, as far as another memory I have of what he has done on many occasions, is I kept asking him to come to the open mic. I said, you got to come to the open mic and check this out, because there's so many great talented students. And so he came, and he heard a few. One in particular was Mia Boostrom, who ended up going on to America's Got Talent, and she ended up going on The Voice. And so, but I remember initially when he heard her and he agreed with me that she was just an incredible talent, that he said, you know what I want to do? I want to get you involved with bring you to a recording studio and do video and everything else. And that was just, again, he was able to take it to that next step that we couldn't. And it was just great. And I could just see how it made such a difference in their lives to do that. It gave them the confidence that they needed, at that time.
Yeah, and that's what music is all about.
Right.
It's all about giving people confidence, even if they don't go in the music as a profession.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful about that. And speaking of your store, I know COVID-19 has impacted so many small businesses beyond compare. How has COVID-19 impacted Rick's music world, and what could our watchers or readers do to help?
Well, I would say, initially it was a big transition for us. We ended up, jumping in. Robin, thank God, is incredible with technology, much more than I am. So she was able to, turn everything on a dime. When we had to shut down for a few months, we still had all the students. You know, we had over 400 students at the time. So we had to try to figure out what to do. And so Robin was able to turn it all around and get everybody taught virtually, which a big part of that was teaching all the teachers what to do and how to do it. So, you know, it was all turned around pretty quick. You know, we did lose a few students, honestly, over this period of time. And it's because, especially with the younger students, I think we have a lot of students are 7, 8 years old, in that range too. And they really had a hard time doing virtual lessons because of the siblings running around the house and they're being distracted and that type of thing. So, so we did lose, you know, a certain percentage of students because of it. But now we're in a situation where we teach some, you know, we do in-person lessons and we do virtual. Whatever the person wants is what we do. So it did affect us. There's no doubt about it, but you know, we're still here and we're still survived it through all it. And our retail came back. Again, not to the point that it was, but it's done well. And you know, we feel very fortunate. We really, really do. You know, compared to other businesses that couldn't do what we did to keep things going. You know, we were one of the lucky ones for sure. So I mean, what people could do is come on in for lessons.
Come take lessons.
Come take lessons.
We'll get you started.
That would be the biggest help at all. You know, if we just get more people involved in music, which is our ultimate goal anyway. So to come in and take more lessons and anybody that they know that through all this, one thing I thought was going to happen, and I think you see it a lot, is that, you know, during times like this, people do turn to music. And you saw a lot of people performing from their house and that type of thing online. So it is such a great thing to have that ability to do during bad times and good times, to be able to play music. It's good for the soul. It's good for the heart. It's good for everything you can imagine. It's good therapy, and it's great for the mind. So you know, we thought we'd really get even more and more students involved in lessons, and I hope to see that continue to happen, to get more involved in music.
That's good. Always looking for the silver lining.
Yes.
Yeah. Always good.
Safeguards in place for COVID. So, you know, we've got air filtration and, you know, vinyl dividers in certain areas. So there are a few instruments we still have to teach virtually. You know, we're not ready to bring voice in yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Won't be too long. The vaccines are rolling along. So
Exactly. And speaking of students and parents, what would you say to a parent that is interested in enrolling their child in music lessons at Rick's Music World or through Rawkstars?
What would I say to them? Just to do it. But it's
the best thing you can do for your child.
Yeah. Again, just what I was saying before, that I just think in so many ways it can help them in their home academics, in concentrating on you know, spatial reasoning skills. It just helps them in so many ways. Even if, like you said, I mean, even if you don't do it as a complete profession, just doing it as a hobby is a wonderful thing to do. Mm-hmm. So, and whether it's through us or through Rawkstars, to get involved is just, you know, we're there for you in whatever way, and I know Rawkstars is there for you. So, whatever way that it can be done, how we can help, we're there.